am Camden Walker for Capital Weather Gang. We are talking about gusty rain squalls moving toward the region. This line of rain is much more of a wind threat than a rain threat, so we are going to be watching this as it moves from west to east over the coming few hours, targeting the Beltway and the I-95 corridor from approximately 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. time frame, but overall the region 5 to 7 p.m. time frame. So I'm going to activate the comments, a little bit of wobbles there, but we do want to keep an eye on this, at least the good news behind it. We do see sunnier conditions, but cooler conditions, at least through the first half of the week. Very breezy, if not windy, on Tuesday, very chilly, almost a region-wide freeze on Wednesday morning. So please keep that in mind. Temperatures bottom out on Wednesday before we kind of go back up in an uptrend for temperatures on Thursday into Friday and perhaps the weekend as well. Hello, Kathleen. Thanks for joining. Hello, Liz. The warmth, while it's still here in the region. Let me show that to you. We are experiencing this very strong wind shift. This cold front coming through tonight is bringing these rain squalls. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning for Front Royal, Woodstock, and Strasburg. Likely because of these winds, 40, 50, 60 miles per hour. We're having to really emphasize these rain squalls heading toward the region. There might not be any thunder or lightning with this, but they do have access to enough wind just below their cloud base that when they start raining, they'll bring down some of these winds, not quite at the surface, with the heavier rains. So again, just a quick burst of rain, but we're more worried about 40, 50, 60 mile per hour wind gusts in the 5 to 7 p.m. range, particularly around the Beltway and I-95, kind of 6:30 to 7:30 time frame. The latest forecast available on capitalweathergang.com. Anytime you need us, we're there 24/7. You can also go to cwg.news/latest or click on my face popping up below on your mobile device. You'll see the latest links that we're talking about and above on your desktop or laptop. So make sure you're following us on our 2 accounts on Twitter and have notifications pushing to your phone there. That's why I circled that on DC weather alerts. So those are our 2 accounts, DC weather alerts, that are good for severe weather alerts only, push to your phone, and on Twitter at Capital Weather. Charge your phones and devices maybe for a few minutes before this gusty rain squall line comes through. Again, maybe no thunder or lightning with this. It's likely no thunder or lightning, but it's still a wind threat with 40 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts possible. No Nancy, good question, not a derecho. And we have not, Michael, posted our winter outlook just yet, but it's coming this week. Let's take a look really quick at what the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration is thinking about winter. It's not a terrible thing to look at their thoughts. A slight chance of above average temperatures and kind of equal chances of maybe above average precipitation or below average precipitation. But again, on capitalweathergang.com this week, you'll see our winter outlook. We're aiming to release it this week. So we will announce that for you shortly. We look forward to getting that over to you guys. Let's see. So we're focused tonight in the short term, watching this squally rain line come toward us with potentially damaging wind gusts, and some severe thunderstorm warnings are being hoisted in the region, even though there is no real thunder and lightning to be had with this gusty rain squall line. We're worried about damaging wind gusts, 40, 50, 60 miles per hour. 63, says Andrew, in Charlottesville, and rising with the clouds and gusts. Indeed, ahead of this cold front, temperatures will continue to rise. I've gone up 0.2 degrees since starting to talk to you here on the broadcast. I'm Camden Walker for Capital Weather Gang. Anytime you need us, or at capitalweathergang.com. Jim needs snow. Sorry, there's none in the forecast just yet, but looking ahead, I know some of you might be interested in Thanksgiving as well. Let's look at averages. Today, it's 58 for a high temperature. By Thanksgiving, we're down to 54 degrees for an average high temperature. And I'm sorry, snow lovers, it looks like the outlook, the general trend for next work week that includes Thanksgiving, is for above average temperatures. But there is hope eventually by the end of the month temperatures do cool down for an average high temperature of 52 degrees for an average high. So keep that in mind. And precipitation wise, next work week for Thanksgiving, maybe some of you wanting to hold some outdoor activities if you can safely with family. But, just we'll watch it as we get closer. There's a hint, maybe we see some rain Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So just keep that in mind. We can't offer specifics just yet, but of course we'll watch it. Following us on Twitter at Capital Weather and on the blog capitalweathergang.com. So again, while I take some questions, here's the main focus: these squally rain showers, kind of a quick downpour, not really thundery and lightning with these storms. But here's the radar. It's moving west to east, and by late evening, it should move offshore of the eastern shore of the Delmarva, but right now, we're watching the 5 to 7 p.m. time frame, specifically around the Beltway and I-95, kind of 6:30 to 7:30, I think, is our latest thinking. So all of this is on the blog on capitalweathergang.com, and we encourage you to follow our 2 accounts on Twitter and really see how I noted getting the push alerts up there on DC weather alerts. That's really good to get severe weather alerts only to push to your phone screen. So that's one way to do it. Make sure you have, of course, more than one source of severe weather information, especially if one of your devices or weather radio goes out or your phone dies. Just make sure you have more than one way to get severe weather warnings. We're watching potentially damaging wind gusts come west to east in the region. 40, 50, 60 mile per hour wind gusts are possible with the rain. Gonna need some water in a second, but around the Beltway, kind of 6:30 to 7:30 time frame, specifically for around the Beltway and the I-95 corridor. So thanks for tuning in, Mary. You're most welcome for this information. And thunderstorms are indeed coming, Mikkel, so we're watching that on radar as well. Let me overlay that. Moving from west to east in the coming few hours, so it is heading our way in the district and 95 corridor, especially the time frame we're watching, 6:30 to 7:30 time frame. Hey Mike, you just got a severe thunderstorm warning in Frederick County. Yes indeed, I saw Winchester as well go under a severe thunderstorm warning. That's for damaging wind gusts, particularly 40, 50, 60 miles per hour. Bring in anything that's loose outside, maybe charge your devices in case of a power outage. So keep that in mind as well. Have more than one way to get your severe weather information, but of course we offer our DC severe weather alerts. DC weather alerts, follow us on Twitter for that, and I love pushing alerts to my phone. That's why I have that selected, particularly on the severe weather alerts for DC weather alerts. And of course we're on Twitter at Capital Weather. Hey Adriana from Frederick, thanks for tuning in. Hey Chase, new warnings are posted along I-81. Yes indeed, these storms are along I-81 now, heading right into Winchester and along the I-81 corridor, so I'll announce those as they come in if I do see them pop up. But they're heading toward our region, 5 to 7 p.m. tonight, particularly around the Beltway and 95, 6:30 to 7:30. And we have good news behind this. Let's not focus just on the bad news. We've got cooler weather behind this cold front that is responsible for this squall line of rain tonight. So we trend downward in our temperatures, a little bit brisk, particularly on Tuesday and Wednesday morning, which I can get to if you have any particular questions about that. We could see some wind chills on some of the mountain peaks nearby in the single digits and teens along I-81 on Wednesday morning. That's our coldest morning, but temperatures then trend back upward Thursday, Friday, and into the weekend, it looks like. And the good news as well with the week, looking ahead for the forecast at a glance, we do have partly to mostly sunny skies as well. Yes, Susan, upper northwest DC should see some rain tonight, but we're more concerned not just from this rain squall line producing some of these events that we're talking about with 40, 50, 60 mile per hour wind gusts. We're focused not just on rain, but more so on these wind gusts. So it's a wind producer. That is what we want you to keep in mind. Even as we're watching the rain associated with it, it's the rain pulling down. It's pulling down the wind from the mid-levels of the atmosphere just above the surface here. So when it starts raining, it's going to access the winds that are just above the surface and pull those winds down to us here at the surface. That's what we're a little bit moderately concerned about. Hey Gary, thanks for tuning in from Portland. Hope you're doing well. And Jim, there is not too much CAPE in the atmosphere. We're actually lucky it was as cloudy as it was this afternoon, because generally rotating thunderstorms, tornadic thunderstorms are off the table. We just have a kind of layer of strong wind just above the surface that the rains will start pouring down into that kind of funnel layer of wind, and accessing that wind, it's going to rain it down, pull it down with that precipitation coming out of these clouds. So the radar is showing you the rain squall line that's moving into the region, but I'm calling it a squall line because you won't necessarily hear any thunder or see lightning with it, but it will be wind producing. That's what we're focused on in the 5 to 7 p.m. time frame, especially around the Beltway 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. time frame. So keep that in mind. We're focused on damaging wind gusts as the main threat, 40, 50, 60 miles per hour, but wind does continue this week, especially Tuesday, but we do have wind advisories up in the region. Let me see if I can pull that up in the brown, especially along I-81 and points westward. You can see wind advisories are in effect there, and especially higher elevations, we'll see wind through maybe much of the first half of this week. But even here around DC, lower elevations, it's still breezy tonight. Tomorrow, some wind gusts maybe around 20 miles per hour, but maybe higher wind gusts above 30 miles per hour possible on Tuesday. Remains to be seen. Stay tuned to capitalweathergang.com, and of course follow us on Twitter at Capital Weather. And for severe weather alerts pushed to your phone, make sure you select that alarm icon over there and follow us at DC Weather Alerts, okay? That's how I get my severe weather alerts pushed to my phone. And of course, for the latest on all of what we're covering, go to our Twitter feed, Capital Weather, at Capital Weather. And we're, of course, on the blog 24/7 at capitalweathergang.com. You can also touch on my face, and popping up below on your mobile device, you'll see all the links we're talking about, cwg.news/latest. And we have tropics covered under cwg.news/iota. That's the latest storm, unfortunately hitting tomorrow night along the border of Honduras and Nicaragua. So that is an unfortunate situation there as well. But locally, we're focused on the rain squall line tonight, moving toward us from west to east. Should move offshore, the Delmarva even, by late this evening. It's moving fairly fast at 40 to 45 miles per hour. So we are watching kind of the 5 to 8 p.m. time frame for the I-95 corridor around the Beltway, particularly 6:30 to 7:30. So keep that in mind for damaging wind gusts 40, 50, 60 miles per hour. Indeed, Omar, Silver Spring, Maryland, in the same 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. time frame. And Aaron, you're hoping for a nice storm. I'm sorry if you wanted some thunder and lightning. These are generally quick downpours with wind gusts that are potentially damaging 40 to 60 miles per hour. So that is the main threat is wind. Maybe penny-sized hail, maybe, but that is less likely. Severe thunderstorm warning, says Chase, for the gradient winds coming in from the second line. Indeed, these are not tornadic winds. These are winds that are getting pulled down by the rainfall falling out of these rain squalls heading toward us. There is a layer of wind, a low-level jet, if you will, of wind that's just above the surface, and the way that those winds are getting to the surface is by this heavy, quick downpour from this rain squall line going through that wind and pulling down with that rainy precipitation, pulling down that wind from above to here at the surface. As the rain falls, it's pulling the wind down with it, and that's what we need to watch. This is quite a sudden gust of wind and even rain that you'll see later tonight, but rain is less of a concern than the damaging wind gust potential in 40, 50, 60 mile per hour time frame. And this is a cold front, Francis, that's been moving out of the Great Lakes region, the Ohio Valley, coming toward us. So we have been kind of expecting it for a couple days, but it has indeed kept its strength together, and we've had to upgrade in the Storm Prediction Center there in the yellow, upgraded a few hours ago to a 2, I think that is a 2 out of 5 chance of severe winds in the area. So not everyone is going to see severe winds, but a 2 out of 5 chance of seeing some wind gusts 40, 50, 60 miles per hour tonight. But the good news is sunny conditions return, but it does get chilly. Temperatures trend downward through Wednesday being our coldest day, but we do see warming conditions by the end of this week, so keep that in mind. And then we might have a decent weekend next weekend as well. Kenny, it snowed 2 years ago. Excellent memory. And let's see, what else have I missed? Let's see. Let me repeat. Hey, Stacy, repeat. Any questions? If I have missed any, they've come in fast. Stacy, thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Camden Walker for Capital Weather Gang. Anytime you need us, we're at capitalweathergang.com. Temperatures continue to warm ahead of this cold front. Can't believe I'm around 70 degrees right now, just around the Beltway. But it is going to cool down markedly tonight with some gusty winds, particularly from these storms. Actually, I'm calling it a rain squall because we might not see any lightning or hear any thunder tonight, but it's moving west to east toward us. We're watching it for the 5 to 8 p.m. time frame around the DC area, particularly 6:30 to 7:30, we think, around the Beltway and the I-95 corridor. A 2 out of 5 chance there indicated in the yellow for some severe winds, some damaging wind gusts in the 40 to 60 mile per hour range. And we put all of this on the blog on capitalweathergang.com throughout the afternoon. And of course, we're at cwg.news/latest with our PM update. That's our latest forecast at cwg.news/latest on capitalweathergang.com. So keep that in mind. We have some time to bring in those loose items from outside, charge those devices just in case there's some spotty power outages. But again, you see rain here on radar, but the main threats are damaging wind gusts. From 5 to 8 p.m. tonight, we could see 40, 50, 60 mile per hour winds, particularly around the Beltway. We think 6:30 to 7:30 time frame. Pardon me. I think with the wind, there may be some allergens around, or just some dust. But again, this is the main information. We have a wind threat tonight from 5 to 8 p.m. generally. We could see some wind gusts in the 40, 50, 60 mile per hour range as well. I'm Camden Walker for Capital Weather Gang. It is still balmy for a little while longer before the strong cold front comes through. And after you experience these gusty rain squall showers, you will feel northwest winds cool you down pretty quickly. And we at least do have, looking ahead, some more sunshine and cooler conditions. So keep that in mind. It could feel quite brisk and blustery Tuesday, Wednesday, but after the coldest part of the week, in the middle part of the week there on Wednesday, we do warm up Thursday and Friday. All right, so let's see, what have I missed? Hey, Leanne, you went through these windy rain squalls, went through your area of Ohio. The friends were posting crazy pictures of the wind, so thank you for that advance heads up. Let's all be very weather aware for the next few hours. Particularly 5 to 8 p.m. As it is now after 5, I think. Yes, 5:15. We are just watching this rain squall line, this gusty rain squall line, move in from the west toward the east. Particularly around the Beltway, 6:30 to 7:30 time frame is what we're honing in on for these potentially damaging wind gusts of 40 to 60 miles per hour. And Jennifer, how quickly will the storm of the front take to pass? It could pass pretty quickly. These are moving around 40 miles per hour, 45 miles per hour. So you could see a quick downpour, quick gust of wind, and it should be over maybe in 20 to 40 minutes. So it is moving quickly. Just charge those devices ahead of time. Bring in any loose items from outside. Make sure you're following us on Twitter. And at 5:15 here, we're updating you on Twitter at Capital Weather that Hagerstown to Winchester, we're seeing on radar these storms have a history of producing damaging wind gusts. So please follow us on both accounts on Twitter. And you can make sure you push alert. That's what I've selected there, the little bell on DC weather alerts. That's how I push my severe weather alerts to my phone as well. Stacy, you are worried about your propane, and you might need to get more with the temperatures looking ahead. Yes, indeed, it could be cold, especially Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. That is the coldest period we're looking at. And you're watching the line, Michael, come across the valley. Yes, indeed. I'm hearing the wind already picking up here around the Beltway. But it is moving. This is slightly old, but we are seeing these storms move from west to east. So we'll keep you posted at Capital Weather on Twitter and on DC Weather Alerts. Make sure you can push alerts to your phone. That's how you select it. Use the alarm, the little bell alarm there, to push severe weather alerts only to your phone. We won't spam you. We will only push the latest severe weather alerts only. We do have some severe wind alerts coming through with these storms. They have a history of producing damaging wind gusts 40, 50, 60 miles per hour. So we could see some more severe thunderstorm alerts posted through the region as these move east in the next few hours, particularly around the Beltway. 6:30 to 7:30 time frame is what we're watching. And again, in the yellow, that's where we have the highest 2 out of 5 chance of seeing some of these damaging wind gusts 40 to 60 miles per hour. They could energize even further than what you're seeing on radar now as they approach I-95 and the Beltway. So just everyone around the Beltway between 6:30 and 7:30, just be very weather aware as these approach. And of course, we're putting all of this on the blog, capitalweathergang.com, and on our Twitter accounts as well. So please stay weather aware for the next few hours from until about 8 p.m. if you are east of town, because these storms are moving from west to east from I-81 corridor now. Should be moving by late evening offshore from the Delmarva. So they do get out of here, and we do see behind it cooler temperatures, a cooling trend, in fact, for the first half of the week, but sunshine is the positive note. More windiness comes in to top our breeziness from Monday. We could be windy on Tuesday, and very chilly with wind chills on Wednesday morning. Temperatures looks like a widespread freeze on Wednesday morning for much of the region, and wind chills in the teens and 20s, perhaps even single digits on the top peaks of the Appalachians coming up on Wednesday morning. So very cold temperatures coming up for particularly western parts of the region in the higher elevations. Hey, Katrina, I'm glad you're paying attention. Thanks for staying weather aware. Stay safe tonight. And Barbara, hello. Thanks so much for tuning in. You're reporting how the temperature really went down very quickly, and the wind behind this cold front indeed very noticeable. The region is along I-81 and points west in the brown there. wind advisory, so we could see some of that expand if the wind concerns spread to eastern parts of the region, the lower elevations as well. But overall, after these storms pass, the gusts do stay below the damaging category of what we're worried about in the coming hours with the rain squalls moving at 40, 50, 60 miles per hour. But here are the top wind gusts potentially in the next 24 hours as well. Michael, thanks so much for watching the radar around Berryville. Do stay safe. And Stacy, you're thinking you love this weather. I'm very glad to hear that. But do stay weather aware and safe over the next few hours. And Francis, you're most welcome. Thanks for tuning in as well. Let's look ahead really quickly. I do have Monday's temperatures tomorrow, not too bad, in the 50s to around 60 in Richmond. We cool off a little bit more on Tuesday, and we could see some gusty winds on Tuesday as well. And then Wednesday morning, widespread freeze. That is our next freeze likely for the region, with wind chills below the temperatures, with still some breezes around on Wednesday morning as well. Look at those wind chills in the teens, 20s to around 30 degrees in Richmond. But then we slowly warm up Wednesday afternoon into the 40s, but this marks kind of the nadir, the lowest part of our high temperatures for the week. So this is still a cold day overall, a little bit below average, even for November. But it warms up a little bit on Thursday and then on Friday. And here's your sneak peek at what could be a decently warm, sunny Saturday as well. So not much rain expected with this rain squall tonight. Rain is not the main issue. We are focused on these wind gusts. And we want to make sure you're paying attention around the Beltway, particularly 6:30 to 7:30 time frame. This squall of rain, gusty rain squall, may not have any thunder or lightning with it, but it is pulling down some winds from below the rain and above where we live. So the rain is falling through a band of wind that is just above the surface, and once it pulls it down to the surface, as these downpours move through, it could be quite a combo with a quick downpour, but more notably is this wind threat that could be damaging, 40 to 60 miles per hour in some locations. So keep that in mind. I will sign off for now. David, indeed, I hope you don't hear the wind too much in the background with my special microphone, but I hope you stay weather aware, watch the wind threat tonight. Thank you, everyone. Misha, you got in a walk before sunset. Indeed, it was humid, still about 70 degrees here around the Beltway, but temperatures will cool off quickly with northwesterly wind gusts moving in behind this cold front that's bringing in these squally rains. And Francis, you stay safe as well. Thank you all for tuning in. Anytime you need us, we're at capitalweathergang.com. And the latest forecast you can touch on my face. It will pop up below on your mobile device or above on your desktop or laptop. Or go to the link, cwg.news/latest. And anytime you need us, we're also on Twitter at Capital Weather. Or for just severe weather alerts, which I would like you to activate to push to your phone for the next couple hours, go to DC Weather Alerts on Twitter. And if you select that little alarm bell way over there, you can get these pushed to your phone, these severe weather alerts only, that we are seeing some severe winds moving through the region, 40, 50, 60 miles per hour. So thanks you all. Do take care. Please have a safe evening tonight with this wind threat moving through, with this squally rain line moving in. And have a safe start to your work week as well. Bye for now.